Hello everybody, welcome to day 2. Today we are going to start it off slightly differently with the connection to ourselves and the connection to something grounded and stable and strong. And yeah, so let's begin. So get yourselves comfortable. Find a comfortable position to sit in with your back straight. Make sure you feel supported. Put your feet on the floor if you can, so you're feeling calm. You're feeling like you're in your space. You're going to bring yourself back to this present moment. So gently close your eyes. Take a long, big, deep breath in. And a soft, gentle, easy exhale out. And I want you to imagine that you are breathing through every part of your body. Breath is coming in through your hands, your feet, your arms, the back of your body, the front of your body, your eyes, your ears, your toes, your eyeballs. All of you is connected to the breath, connected to the air around you. Breath is coming in through your body. The prana, the life force, is breathing into you through every part of you. And then as you breathe out, you can feel yourself expand into your space, feeling yourself releasing, relaxing, and taking up more space as you let go. You're going to breathe in, whole body breathing into every part of your body, feeling yourself fill up through this life force, this prana, this energy. And as you breathe out, releasing, letting go, taking up space. One more time, breathing in through every part of your body. And breathing out, expanding and taking up space. I want you to call all the pieces and parts of you home, the parts of you that have been scattered throughout your day, the parts of you thinking about other people, places and things. I want you to imagine that they're like little cords and you're drawing them back into you right now. Just collecting them all back in, pulling them all back in, all of your bits, all of your parts, all of your thoughts and experiences, you're collecting them back into you now. And feel yourself feeling grounded, present. Feel the connection of your feet on the earth, the stability and the strength beneath your feet. And imagine a strong line of energy going from your crown of your head down to the root of you, all the way down your heart line, down your spine, the vertical part of you, like the strong, stable core that connects all of your chakras, all of your parts to each other, making you whole, stable, strong, centered. No one part is overly activated. So feel where the energy is pooling. Do you spend most of your day in your head? Do you spend most of your day feeling on edge and reactive, like your nervous system, your sensitivities are on fire or activated? Do you spend most of it almost numbed out? Whatever you're feeling, wherever your attention is, bring it back to the whole of your body. Using this breath method, it's really simple, but it's super effective. And just stay with the whole body breathing over and over. And you can feel and sense the outside edge of your body, the place where your physical body, your matter, meets the energy, the air, the prana outside of you. Feel your connection to yourself within space and time in this moment, in your room, wherever you find yourself. Feel yourself certain and strong and centered in this now moment. We're going to do the aroma point first of all today, and the aroma point is small intestine 19. So if you've got your Palmarosa, which is the oil we're going to be exploring today, we're going to practice and try out the practice today before I explain what it is, because I want you to have this felt sense. I want you to feel the connection. I want you to feel and connect with the oil before I tell you anything about what's, so you can process it in your head. So start off with getting your oil. Okay, and then just a little bit here, and then like we did on day one, we're going to use the lightest of touch. Okay, and then small intestine 19 is this place where that little indent in your ear is, and if you were to open your jaw, you would feel there was a divot, a dent between the ear and the clavicle and the jaw. And that's where we want to put it. So it's literally just in the center of the ear like that. And you can do both of them and hold very gently with Palmarosa. If you haven't got Palmarosa, you can use geranium or rose. But Palmarosa's my favorite for this. We're just going to gently hold the oil here. Close your eyes. When you practice this in the future, when you make it part of your toolkit, I encourage you to do it for 5 minutes until you feel an energetic shift, one that you know that it feels finished. And if it doesn't feel like that, then either practice it for 5 minutes or wait, just wait until that feeling shifts. I'm just going to hold here for a little bit longer. You can do this as I carry on explaining if you wish, or you can practice it again after the video is over. But remember, if you start to press, release the touch just a little bit. It's just a contact touch on small intestine 19. Okay, and then you can rub your hands together and then inhale. Just connect with the oil for a moment. Try not to think about it. Try not to analyze your experience. Just allow it to be exactly as it is. The beauty of the scent and the fragrances that we use, they bypass all of the intense mental processes we have. They go completely into a different place. It's like a quantum experience rather than a logic linear experience, and that's what we want right now. That's what we want to bring in, is this experience of bypassing the mind. So small intestine 19 is about clearing the lines of communication between the insides and the outside, so that it's like the filter. We all have a filter that we see life through, and depending on how clear our mental and emotional thoughts are and our feelings are, depends on how clear this filter we have between us and the outside world is. And what Palmarosa does is a couple of things, but when you combine it with small intestine 19, and you can, if you're a practitioner, you can, and you're a yoga practitioner, you can do this for people as part of the end practice in Shavasana, should you wish to, or you can, if you're working with emotional situations with people, then in a coaching business or something, you can encourage people who overthink, who spend a lot of time in their heads and need clarity of thought and need clarity of feelings. They can apply it to SI19 with the Palmarosa. And what it does is starts to create this clarity within us. And it doesn't happen immediately. It's not like allopathic medicine. These are subtle, we're working with subtle energies, so they build over time. Okay, so you're not going to see magic results within the first application. Well, you might. It depends how sensitive and how ready you are for it. But normally this type of thing happens over weeks and months. And the more dedicated you become, the more to using it and practicing and incorporating it every day, the more you will see that it really starts to have such profound shifts without effort, without force, without pushing. It's just an allowance of using what's around us to enable growth and progression and transformation and nourishment and calm and kindness for ourselves. So it's about creating a deep dialogue with our hearts, because when we're in our overthinking state, we're so stuck up here. Tell me if you can relate to this. We're so stuck up here that we lose the ability to really deeply connect with our hearts, and that can make us feel lost and directionless and purposeless, without meaning or direction. Which means that it reinforces this overthinking experience. So the more we overthink, the more disconnected we are, the more disconnected we are, the more we feel we have to use our logic brain to come to conclusions, to direct. But it's the opposite. What we want to do is create a sort of a circuit breaker, and that's what Palmarosa and SI19 can do, is to help calm, create a pause in that overthinking, so we can come back to our intuition and guidance. And that's what we were talking a little bit about yesterday in day one. Overthinking and fear and feeling unsafe and feeling overwhelmed, these are all things that take us out of our intuition and our guidance, and they completely hold us captive to a certain type of thinking, which is very caged and boxed in. It stops us from being able to come up with insightful and intuitive decisions, stops the connection between us and the universe and that divine communication as well. So these oils that we use, they're our allies because they act like a bridge. They help us move from this very intense, overwhelmed state where we think a lot. And for those of us who are highly sensitive empaths, this is a state where, because we have stopped, or we never knew how to trust ourselves and how to navigate being a very sensitive being in this world, we were told and taught by those around us that our brains and our thoughts are the way forward. But actually that's a complete lie. The brain is supposed to be working with the heart, with our felt sense. It is the heart at its core is our guidance and our wisdom keepers, our direction. They hold that space in our desires, and that's what leads us forward. And our brains and our thoughts are what it's like marrying the masculine and the feminine. The feminine is where the birthing of creation happens, and the masculine helps us put it into place, into practice. And that's where the union of that masculine and feminine come in. But when we're working solely from the masculine, from that distorted sense of identity and thought process, it makes us very, very lost. So Palmarosa is about creating harmonization between these mind and the heart, the body and this brain, and bringing them together. And over time, that stops the racing mind, that stops the overthinking, or at least quietens it down. All right, this is part of a toolkit. We use these oils as a range of things, as a collection of ever evolving, ever moving, flowing toolkit that's supposed to evolve and change and shift as we do too. So you might find that Palmarosa is something you have to use because you feel so called to for a period of 6 months or 3 months. And then after that, you're like, oh, that feels really good. I've moved on to a different dynamic, a different part of myself, and a different connection and relationship with myself. And so it evolves and changes and moves, and just as it should do. It's supposed, we are designed to be in a flow state rather than this rigid from A to B linear development, which is what we'd all prefer, I think. So we want to allow rather than force. We want to accept and embrace rather than control and hold on to something for dear life. And Palmarosa is just the most beautiful and perfect oil for that. So for those of you who maybe have smelt Palmarosa and you're like, that doesn't resonate with me at all, you can get a similar vibe, if you like, from using rose or geranium, like I said before. But often when you're averse to a smell, it's normally because it's the timing that's not quite right yet. So for example, when I first started using essential oils, I loved ylang ylang. And then I went through a phase of, it was just the most horrible smell. I couldn't have it near me. It was too sweet and sickly. And now when I pair it with other oils, it really is beautiful again. But my relationship to that one oil has completely changed as the time went on and how things have evolved. So try to let go of any expectation of how or what or why when you're using essential oils with your emotions. Just like your emotions are in flow every day, so too are the tools that we use as well. So the aim for all of today, for day 2, for our connection with Palmarosa, our connection with ourselves, is to quieten the mind enough for us to be able to hear our hearts, to connect inwardly, to feel the body once more, and to bring those two together rather than having them separately. I don't know if you've ever watched that TED talk by Sir Ken Robinson, where he talks about how schools kill creativity. And he's a professor, well, he was a professor. He has since passed since he did that talk. But what's really funny is he would talk about how professors, if they ever went to a disco or anything like that, they would basically, they use their bodies to carry their heads around. And I love that analogy because I think for so long I definitely was like that, and I absolutely can relate to the over-identification with my head. And so these are such powerful tools that we can come in to rebalance and reconnect ourselves to how things should be in their natural state and their natural flow. So a question that you could ask yourself when you're journaling today with the essential oil is, how can I bring myself back into my body? What can I do today to feel more ease within my heart? And start with those questions. Start with feeling. How can I feel myself and bring my attention back to this room right now? Great. I hope you enjoyed today. Palmarosa is one of my favorites. Let me know what your thoughts are and how you connect with Palmarosa, and what your thoughts are on SI19 as well. Take care. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you tomorrow.